What's up, my kings and queens of this world? It has been a minute, but welcome back to One Voice, period. Lifestyle, locks, fun, faith, everything that we do on this channel. I missed you guys. It has been a while. Like I said, I've been going through sicknesses and a lot of lifestyle changes, which will be in a separate video, but we have reached a year locked. Yes, we have. We have reached a year locked. I'm actually a year and 2 months locked. So I'm so sorry that in those 2 months, I didn't get up and record a video. Like I said, I've just been so sick and new jobs and just everything. But we are back and we are here. So if you want to know about my whole visual lock journey, how I made it to a year, stay tuned.
Take me home so I can praise where you can roam. I'll find a taste. Take me home so I can praise where you.
So like I said before, I am officially a year and 2 months locked. And it's just been a great, scary, wonderful experience that I just wanted to share with you guys. Naturally, if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at all the pictures and stuff, but it'll be posted right over here, so you guys can just enjoy this visual memoir with me. So let's just jump right in. This first picture is my hair in its natural state before I even thought about getting locks. I used to wear my hair in like a lot of afros and a lot of like just natural styles as much as I could because it was just something that I really like to do. I had a hard time with my hair. As you can see in this like next picture, it was kind of like I would dye my hair and I would straighten it, but then the humidity would just puff it right back up. So I had a really hard time doing things with my hair, which is why I kept it in the afro state. I did a lot of hair dyeing, which in this picture, it was just like, it was one of my favorite, like bleaching my hair, literally my favorite thing to do. And I didn't even care if it was orange or browns or yellows or, you know, it was just kind of like all of those colors with, you know, a big afro-like state. It was just my favorite thing to do and what I love to do. So I did that for a while until eventually my hair started to become damaged from all the bleaching that I did with it. As you can see, like in this photo, it was kind of like I straightened it and I just noticed all of the breakage that I had from trying to straighten it and from all the bleaching processes that I did. And then I even, like, before I tried to straighten it, I got it wet and you could see like my curl pattern was no longer there. So it was pretty difficult for me because like seeing my hair in that state, it was like, I've always wanted my hair to be like the healthiest that it can be within its natural state, but the more things that I did to it, it was just not working out. So eventually I ended up cutting it all off. I cut off like all the damaged parts of my hair, so you'll still see like little highlights and stuff, but I ended up cutting off a majority of my hair, and I told myself like, I want to be natural, so let me not, you know, let me dye my hair, but do it in a better way, I guess you can say, a safer way. So I started watching YouTube videos and things like that if I were ever to dye my hair again. You know, I made sure I did a lot of research, but I ended up cutting it all off. And after I cut it all off, I didn't like the length of it, so I just popped some crochet in there. For the beginning, really most of my life, I used to wear lots of weaves, lots of crochets, lots of wigs, lots of wigs and stuff because I just wasn't comfortable with my natural hair. I didn't really like it. So I would put a lot of stuff in it just to basically make myself feel more beautiful than I was. And then I used to be in different types of relationships where they didn't want me to wear my natural hair. They didn't really like it. And back then, you know, being young, I'm just like, and in love, I was like, you know, fine. Like, I don't have to be natural. Like, if you want me in a straight wig, I'm gonna be in a straight wig. I'm being curly wig. I'm being braids and stuff. So that's just what I was used to. And that's what I did for most of my life. And then I got married and I we had gone on our honeymoon. We went to Florida, and as you can see, I had these braids all the way down my back, and I love these braids. Like, I love these braids. If there's one thing that like I miss a lot, it is the braids, because I really do like them. But with my locks now, I know some people still get them, but it hurts. Like, it hurts me for some reason. It's just too much weight on my head, so I'm just waiting for my locks to grow. But I ended up getting braids, and when we were down in Florida, I started seeing, which I mentioned this in a previous video, I started seeing so many people with locks. Like, it was like Loc Nation, and I was so excited. Like, I wanted to get locks with all of my heart so bad when I was down there in Florida, but I was scared to make that decision. And I've actually wanted to get locks for a longer time than just seeing it in Florida, but like I said, within my previous relationships, that was a no-go. Like, being natural was not a thing, so I just kind of like suppressed what I actually wanted to try to please other people, you know. And that's hard, because that's the way that society tries to make you feel, you know, by the things that you see, or by people who have like negative influences on you. You know, you tend to do stuff that you don't want to do, but you do it to fit in, or to be loved, or to be appreciated. So that's something that I did. But when I went down there, it was just like all types of locks, freeform locks, micro locks, traditional locks. It was just locks everywhere. And I had ended up taking out my braids, which is in this picture. I took out my braids and I wore my puffballs, and I was wearing them around Florida as we were in the parks and stuff. And then I seen this other lady with locks, and they were just beautiful. It was just like something within me was like, this is your time. Like, if you're gonna go ahead and get locks, then go ahead and get locks. Why not get them while you're in a different state, you know? So I had ended up posting like a story to my Facebook, which, if you're not, you know, subscribed to my Facebook or YouTube, I say YouTube, you're here now. Oh gosh. If you're not subscribed to my Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, I will make sure that all the links are down in the comments below. But I wrote a little story on my Facebook, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start my lock journey. It doesn't matter what it looks like this is what I'm gonna do. And I had like different people guess on what I was starting, because like this was my first time also like being out of the state and things, so it was just a big experience for me. But I knew down in my heart, like, I was ready to be the person that I've always wanted to be. Like, I was ready to do things for me and not for other people. So I ended up starting my lock journey June 12th down in Florida. This is what my hair looked like at first. It was, like I said, incredibly damaged. Even though I cut off a lot of pieces, I still had like the blonde pieces that were still there, and my hair was incredibly thin. You know, I think that's why I wore it in a lot of afros and like a lot of like pick styles, because I wanted it to be bigger than what it was. So it was incredibly thin. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my lock journey. Did it unravel every single second of the day? It did, because my hair was so broken. Like, it had nothing to really bond to. So it did. It unraveled a lot, and I would get frustrated with it. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna retwist it and do my thing. So once I did that, I ended up taking my first Facebook photos with my new starter locks. I just put them up in a bun because that was the only thing they could really do. The back of my hair was so short, so I just kind of like let it do whatever it wanted to do. But I, you know, told myself that if I've wanted this journey and I wanted to embrace this journey, then I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Like, I'm gonna feel confident in my starter locks. So that's exactly what I did. These next pictures are like day 2 afterwards, where like I didn't really see much of a difference besides my hair being dry from using the lock products that I started with. So my hair was just dry, but like I said, there wasn't really much of a difference from there. So after we enjoyed our vacation, we ended up coming home, and this was probably like 2 or 3 weeks like after that, where I noticed like a lot of shrinkage. I did decide to wash my hair, so I was washing my hair in the beginning of my journey, and I just used a spray bottle. I watered it every day. You know, I basically treated my hair like it was a plant where it just needed the nourishments, because I felt like my hair was so damaged, so if my hair was gonna ever locked, it needed that nourishment. So I started to do that, and then I recorded a little video just of where my hair, you know, started within those weeks. So it was about maybe like about a month or so now locked. And I remember recording this video like thinking to myself that these were never gonna lock. Like these were just gonna keep falling out. My hair felt dry because of the bleach that I had in it, and I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna work. But like I said, I stuck to it because I started the journey, so I'm finna finish it. That's how I felt. I didn't go to any loctician or anything like that. I did it on my own. So if you were the type of person that posted a YouTube video about starting your own locks, I just want to say thank you because I probably watched your video to get my locks started. So I, you know, kept pressing on. I went to different events like that. You know, I went to work. I went to other states like this. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to try to mask my hair. I did try to put a wig over it a few times, which I mentioned in my last videos, which was incredibly difficult and it hurt, and I just felt like I was still in that mentality of like trying to be prettier or trying to be better if I put a wig on. You know, I was still in that mentality. So not only was this a, you know, physical battle, it was also a spiritual battle, because it was like I'm trying to find out who I am in God, and you know, who just the beautiful being that has like that I've been created to be. And it was kind of like a battle trying to be yourself and not like be the person that somebody else wanted you to be. So it was still a constant battle through that, but I decided to, you know, push through it when I could. And then I just kept going. Basically, I went to church, I sang like this, and then within, I want to say this was like month 3, I started to notice some changes. So I had recorded this video because it looked like my 2-strand twists, because that's the way that I started, it looked like some of my 2-strand twists were disappearing. It was like I felt like my locks were starting to actually become locks and start to look like locks. And I'll never forget the moment where when I first started, everyone's like, oh, I like your twisties. But then now that they see, they're like, oh, wait, these aren't twisties. You know, I love that little transition where your twisties start to not look like twisties anymore. And that's what I was going for. Like, that's when I was like, okay, this is a game changer here, because now my 2-strand twists are starting to, you know, do a little bunching and do a little this and do a little that. And this also was another battle, because as you can see in these videos, as I'm showing you, it's like they were not straight locks. Like they were not perfect little coils. They were just all bunched and crunched and munched and like all over the place. And I was like, well, when I started my lock journey, I thought they was going to be straight, and I was like battling. That's what I said, it's another battle within my walk, because I'm like, did I want them to be straight? Is this bunching healthy for my locks? Like, is this what it's supposed to look like? And I'm looking at all these other people with these different locks, and I'm like, oh, you know, I had to come to that realization that my locks are going to be different. That, you know, however my locks have formed is the way that I was going to keep them. I wasn't going to go and try to get them fixed to be perfect little locks. You know, that's what I decided not to do. So it was a battle for me, but then, like I said, I just kept embracing them, and I felt like this is my journey, so my journey's gonna look different than others, and that's okay. Like, my locks are gonna fit who I am. So then I decided to dye my locks for the first time, and I was like, you know what, because I'm such a person of like colors and stuff, and I like doing different things, so I was like, I'm gonna dye my locks. So I dyed it this like red and like orangish kind of color, and I liked them. This was the first time I could really do some like major lock styles. When you want to talk about shrinkage, it was shrinkage. So like my hair's never gone past here, okay? But when my locks started to form, it was up here, and I was like, what is happening? Like, where's my hair going? So I had a little panic attack, but it was okay. Once I dyed them, I was like, okay, this is great. You know, so I looked up YouTube videos on how to dye my hair or dye my locks, and I ended up doing that. I noticed a lot of shrinking. Like I said, I played with different lock styles, which was pretty fun. But I kept that color in for probably about like maybe like 3 months or so, because like I said, it was just something fun and I really enjoyed it. And then I ended up taking that color out. I ended up going straight to black, and this was my first lock style that I actually did, like my barrel twist. I YouTubed it for a very long time to try to make sure I got these barrel twists right. And this barrel twist hairstyle was like the first one that I really did. That was, you know, just it. If I could post this profile picture on everything, like I would, because it was just something that I was super accomplished by, and it also like motivated me in my lock journey, because I was like, now I can really do stuff. Like I can really put my hair in barrels. Like when my hair was so short it wouldn't even go in a ponytail, like, and now it's in barrels. So super excited about that. And then I also experimented with like ponytails, and I did most of my hair going down, which was nice. And then I also experimented with buns. You know, I just kind of like experimented with my hair in all aspects. You know, I did whatever I could to where I didn't have to, like I said, put a wig on it, to where I felt confident, to where I just felt like myself. And then I decided to put beads in my hair, and listen, if these beads weren't like smacking me in the face everywhere I went, like I would have kept them in for a very long time. But they hurt sometimes when you're sleeping on them and like different things like that. And also this was the first like weighted thing that I put in my hair, so my scalp, it felt a little sore, and I wasn't a fan of that. But the hairstyle itself, beautiful. Love beads. Beads were just kind of like my go-to thing, for real. It took a lot of time to do that though, because I also did those myself. And beads, I also put them in when like I didn't want to do retwists, because I do a retwist on my anniversary date. So like every time the month comes around, every time it's the 12th of a month, that's when I do my retwist. So it was kind of like I didn't have a retwist, so I just popped beads on there, and it just was full, and I just completely loved it. And after I took the beads out, my hair pretty much looked the same. And as you can see, like I said, I'm not gonna go through all these, but I just did a lot of styling and a lot of creativity, and I was just filling my locks. Then I decided to dye it again and do this little half and half thing. Now, listen, I know you're probably gonna count how many times I've said dye. I've dyed my hair a lot. Yes, and it's only been a year. Yes, I have. And I'm just crazy. I don't even know what else to say about it. But I ended up dyeing them again, and I did like a half and half situation. My barrel twists were becoming easier and easier to do, and my locks at this stage, they were finally starting to drop. So it was like super incredible for me, because I no longer experienced a lot of shrinkage. Like they were just starting to get heavy. This was probably, I want to say about 6 months. About 6 months, they started to just drop a bit more, and you can see that in, you know, this video of them just dropping. I'm so sorry. Of them just dropping, and then basically like my pattern, and like my pattern's completely gone now within this video, which I'm super excited about. And that was like about 6 months. So like my pattern's gone and my hair is dropping, and I just really loved every second of it. Then I just had more styles. Oh, and then these are texture shots, so you can see like the texture of my hair and what it looks like. Lots of frizz, lots of frizz. Frizz wasn't something that I was able to control. Also, I did not experience any lint. Like I know a lot of people experience lint, but like every time my head hits something, I need a bonnet on. So like I try to be very careful on my bonnets and my scarves, so I haven't experienced lint or anything like that. And I don't believe it's because of like the hair color or anything like that. It's just me always putting something on my head before my head hits a pillow. I also tried this fun little style, which it was cute from the front. From the back, it probably looked a little bit rough, but I did what I could and I rocked it. I rocked it on stage and everything was great, so I didn't really care. And then my birthday came around and I ended up dyeing my hair again. That blonde part that I had on this side, it was red. So I ended up doing it like a red, deep burgundy color. In my birthday photos, it just looks black, like you can't really tell that it was that color. But I put like a little bit of beads and a little bit of like hair jewelry and stuff in there. But for the most part, it was just the best part. Like I just rocked it down. And I actually ended up crying like on my birthday because this was my first birthday. Now I just turned 28. So this was my first birthday in forever where I didn't put weave in my hair, and I literally broke down and I fought it too. Throughout the week I kept asking my husband like, hey, can I put weave in, or what if it looked like this, you know, maybe this hairstyle will go with this style, and you know, this outfit, and just all this other stuff. And he just kept being consistent and persistent with me, and he's like, no babe, like you look beautiful, you're fine, you don't need it. And this was the first birthday that I was rocking my actual hair, my natural, and I got emotional about it. There ends up being a photographer there, and he took my photo while I was, you know, partying up. So he took my photo, and it was just, it really showed me like how far my locks have come and how much me, like how much I'm myself. That's what I'm trying to say. How much I am myself now, my true self. And it was very emotional for me. And a few days later, me and my husband, we took a picture with this, you know, still beads, and you know, I had my actual birthday. So this was my birthday like party, and then my actual birthday was a few days later. So then this was the hairstyle that I rocked for my actual birthday. I think my go-to style is this style. You know, when I really just want to, most of the time I have my hair down, but when I really just want to get out my face, or I'm going somewhere, you know, nice, or just trying to, you know, do a little sun, then this is my go-to hairstyle. So I ended up wearing it for my birthday, which I completely loved, and it was just amazing. And now we are here. We are here on my birthday. So my birthday was July 27th, which means I was a year and 1 month locked. So those were the photos of me, you know, a year and 1 month locked. And now this was a photo that I took last week. I ended up dyeing my hair for the final time for a long time. I'm not saying this will be the last time that I dye my hair, but I am gonna let it chill for a little bit, and you know, get some more length to it before I dye it again. But this is a few photos that we took last week at church, and I did dye my hair pink. So there's pink, and then there's purple, and then there's green, and then this side has always been black. So this side was always colored, this side was black, and you can't really, I don't even know if you can really tell right now, but the colors were there, and these are the photos. And I felt like, you know, it was time to do something different. These are colors that I've never had before, and I've seen like a lot of locks with fashion colors. So I ended up dyeing them. I did go to Sally's, and I purchased, what's it called, honey? Pink leopard, something, one moment. You know what, we're not even gonna cut this out because this is actually who I am in real life. So okay. Strawberry leopard, thank you, honey. So I ended up getting a strawberry leopard hair dye, which is what made these beautiful colors, which is a semi-permanent color. And I put it over already the color that I already had, and then it just made it whatever. So like I still had some bleach parts, so this wasn't supposed to be green, but I added more green onto it, and then it was blue, and then the color wheel and everything. So these are the colors that I have now. This is the picture that I took today, and this is where we are. We are officially 1 year and 2 months locked, on the road to 3 months. Let's say 3 years. on the road to 3 months, 1 year and 3 months locked. So I am just, like, you can see it on my face, I'm smiling because, like, I'm so emotional about it. I'm so happy that I even made it this far. And I thank you guys for even supporting me and for watching these videos. Thank you for your patience with me because, girl, like I said, it's been a long one, which is why I haven't made a video. But I thank you guys for just your patience with me and for, you know, always encouraging me. And I am super inspired, you know, to be able to inspire others because that's what I live to do and that's what I love to do. So, like, I'm glad that I inspired you guys and I'm glad that you guys inspired me back. And I just couldn't ask for anything more. So that is it for today's video. Like I said, thank you guys so much for being here and being, you know, so supportive of me and of my journey. I'm always glad to hear about your journeys. If you have any fun things or fun colors that you decided to do, let me know. Leave it down in the description box below because I love to read your stories. I love to see how far you've come and where you're going to and your goals and your dreams. And most importantly, if I can leave you with anything, I leave you with this. Always be yourself. It doesn't matter what other people may think of you. It doesn't matter what even the stereotypes that you put on yourself that aren't true. Like, always be yourself. Do what you want. Live your life. Learn, experiment, grow, because at the end of the day, you're gonna come out so much better. So I love you guys with my whole heart, and I'll see you in the next one.
Take me high.